So Peter is the chairman of our Hall of Fame committee. Where's Peter? Oh, there you are. Thank you. Watch over there.
All right, I hope you can hear me. Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to this wonderful event. I want to thank Andy for getting me, and Liz too, for getting me back involved in mass soccer after maybe a 20-year hiatus. I also want to thank Andy for getting the Hall of Fame process going again. I think it was a 15-year hiatus. Anyway, the energy here is phenomenal tonight. We've had one in 2023, one in 2024. This is by far the best energy. So that's something we want to keep doing in the future. So, all right, so while our team, Opus County, was in the inaugural class in 1997, we had won the first national championship in Massachusetts in 47 years. A men's team from Fall River had last won in 1953, I believe. So I do want to say there's 3 Opus County players here, past. Past players, Lois Kessa, okay. Kathy Council. And someone who's doing video for us tonight, Angela Cornacchio. Okay. All right, so on to the evenings, the important thing here. So our first inductee, first of all, Massachusetts has had an amazing history of great referees. When I first got involved in the mid-'80s, there were 6 FIFA referees. 3 were in the United States. 3 were from Massachusetts, and all 3 are in this Mass Soccer Hall of Fame. Angelo and Vinny, and the gentleman I'm going to bring up to introduce our first inductee, good dear friend of mine and my wife's for many years, Mr. Dilvo DiPlacido. Okay.
Thank you for the introduction. Mr. John Mota, Mr. Andy Weiss, and Peter, distinguished guests, welcome to today's event. It is my pleasure to introduce a long time, by age, George Cortes. When I first met George, I was playing for Italian team in East Boston, and we went to play a team, Scandinavian team in the Worcester area, and I played against George. A couple of years later, I became a referee, and again I was sent to do a game in Worcester, and this time George was play manager of a Colombian team. Ever since, we became friends, and thereafter, many years later, he became a referee, and through evaluations and quality officiating, he was selected to join us at the national level for recertification at the U.S. Olympic Center in Colorado Springs. Ever since, there was a bonding for all the national referees. At that point in time, the United States Federation only had 80 national referees, 10 of which were from Massachusetts, which showed the quality, not only the players competing in this area, but also made us quality officials a symbol to be emulated through the whole country. '94 was the World Cup here in Boston. Several teams participated in games just like it's going to happen here next month. At that point in time, the Federation assigned Charlie Van Elpelt, a national, and myself to direct the activities of the FIFA referees competing at the local level here. George was also assigned to Marco Rubio, a Colombian assessor, inspector for the games. So therefore, at that point in time, we were involved in the World Cup. 32 years later, we have a new World Cup coming here, hopefully in the next month. And I think it's going to be a great success, and I hope all you guys enjoy the games, and we'll be spectators of the best World Cup in the world. Judge Cortes, welcome aboard.
You want to present this too?
Oh, I have to give it up after the speech?
Well, good evening. No need to repeat my name. In any case, I had made friends from any part of the world, so my Italian friends call me Giorgio Cortesi. My Polish friends call me George Kutiski. And the Irish people call me Georgie O. Cortes. And in Spanish, I'm Jorge Cortes. So in any case, I'm the same person here. And thank you, Dilvo, for a great introduction here. And usually people comes up in here and gives a speech here, and so I prepare I prepare my speech here because the story is real long, so bear with me. Actually, I'm truly humbled to stand here tonight and accept the nomination for the Hall of Fame of Massachusetts. Thank you very much for the committee who gave the vote for me to be here and celebrate this honor with you. Celebrate it with you because this honor doesn't really belong to me, to myself. There are so many people that had contributed to the long career, my long career in the involvement of soccer, and in particular as a referee. And so there are many of you here who contributed to my achievements in here, including again Dilvo DiPlacido, who introduced me, Mr. Tony Dabrowski, Pasquale Puleo, Mr. Dabrowski, and we have some other people, and if I don't mention to you, I know you're there, I'm talking to you, Paul, Sanasaina, and so many. You know, the support I have received from the Massachusetts Referee Committee, state directors of assessment, and state directors of Ali, they are great supporter here from Massachusetts Referee, and then so many of you here. Thank you very much again to all of you who have supported my career. Now, I also have to, you know, this career is not easy. Some of you have mentioned in the stories that have gone through, but some of the stories, I'm going to tell you a few stories in here that what did it take for me to get to the professional levels they will mention to you. Again, I played soccer, and the reason I became a referee was because I was playing for that Worcester team in a semifinal. I'm a forward, and it's a semifinal game, and I basically escaped, and we were 1-1 game, and I was going to score a goal. There was no doubt about it. And I only had one defender and the goalkeeper in front of me now, and I'm going. Well, that defender had no other thinking, but he just went and walked me right across. People on the sideline, they said some wood just broke. So it was my leg. So I had a broken leg, and I was 8 months in cast out of work and so forth. So following that, a fellow referee, Walter Roach from Central Massachusetts, said, why don't you become a referee? I said, what does it take? He says, just take the little course in here and, you know, a test and you pass and I become a referee. Thinking that I was just going to stay within soccer and do the youth games, but because my experience as a player was quickly noticed of my abilities, and it was moving to do adult games and, you know, heavy games, and I'm learning more and more, not knowing that someday I was actually was going to be at the level, at the national level. But it takes sacrifice. One of the sacrifices was family, because when you put all your dedication and commitment to what you're doing, sometimes without even thinking of wanting to do, you leave your family a little bit on the side, and I regret at that point maybe some of that stuff. But Sunday games, going out to my games, weekend games, along the line, tournaments at a state, games at a state, so always moving out from home. So that is one of the sacrifices that you have to do, but then that's what it takes to become a real pro referee. As referee, you know that you have to be really a neutral individual and side with nobody. You don't know nobody. However, this is one of the things as an instructor, I tell my students what happened in one of the games that you need to do no matter what. You have to make the right decision. And this is a game that I was assigned to do a game, Massachusetts Soccer League game. I think again was a semifinal game. And on a Sunday morning, I said to my family, well, I have a game in the afternoon, I'm leaving. My son, 14 years old, who was already good player, that as a 14 years old was already playing on an adults team, a great team from Acton, Massachusetts. And so he was playing in that team, and he says, well, Dad, so I got a game too, myself, so I'm leaving. So he left for the game, and I'm leaving for my game, and I got to the field, and I look at, and it's my son's team. And it's my son's team. And 14 years old, who is here, Jonathan Cortes, please stand up. He reached that size. At 14 years old, he was just that size. So he was a strong player, and I have to say sometimes dirty player. Well, here the game goes. And him and another player stand along the game, you know, after the game started a little while ago, start again, one player gets back to him, the other player gets back to him. And I'm watching. And I'm warning the guys, both of them. You know, stop it, I'm watching you. Don't let me get you out of the game. It was him. You know, they pointed out each other. And from time to time, he was hitting the other guy's back to him, pushing and shoveling and everything else. I go by my son and I says, come on, don't do that to me, huh? I'm just going by, and he says, well, watch him. So anyway, comes to the time that I don't know what actually the other player just did something bad to him, something bad, and he's saying nothing, but he had it here. I'm going to get back to him. Sure enough, and there's quite a bit of people out there, you know, watching the game, and sure enough, the time comes in, and all of a sudden, wow, just walked the guy, knocked him down, didn't break his leg, but almost did. And guess what? I had no other choice. No other choice. True story. Yes?
What color?
Red card. He had to go. And he looked at me and okay, so we got home, and I didn't know what was going to happen, but the only thing he says is, don't ever referee my game anymore. He says, we were there. That's one of the stories. But another story, right when I started refereeing, I was already doing adult games, and I was assigned to assistant referee to different good referees in the area, and even international referees. One of them was perhaps the first FIFA referee in the United States, Dave Socha. I'm sorry, Dave Socha. So Dave Socha, an international referee who actually was the first United States FIFA referee who went and represented the United States at a World Cup. So I'm one of his assistant referees in one of the games. I forgot where, in the level of game, but it was not a professional game. It was a state level game, first division somewhere there. And so I'm in the beginning and real excited to be his assistant referee and being at that game. I'm really excited about it, and I says I'm going to do a great job in here for him. So I'm running the line, and I was instructed, you know, that if there is a foul, you raise the flag and wiggle it. That's a foul, you know, and different from offside. So anyway, a foul happened close by me, but apparently, and I didn't realize, apparently there was like play on, play out, you know, advantage, what we call, and the game kept going. And I'm over there still doing this here. and the game is almost on the other side, and I'm standing right there. And he's going. You know, finally, he turned around, and I guess he was when this kind of thing, you know. And I didn't even realize at the moment what was he was telling me, and I keep going with this here, with the whipping and there. Boy, oh boy. So, is there any children here? I was going to say the words that he actually what he told me. At halftime he come up and he says, George, you ever do that to me again, I'm going to take that flag up there and send you home. This is a true story. So those things have been, you know, excited when you start doing these kinds of games. I ended up refereeing for one of the strongest leagues here in New England. A couple of them, we were talking about these stories because all my colleagues here, they did referee in the league called LASA. LASA League, basically a Portuguese league, strong player divisions, first division, second division, third divisions, and they even have the youth categories there. So games that basically each one of those games had to have police on the side because it was real dangerous. Some of them worse than others. all the fans, if you're familiar, all the fans are very fanatic about their games. So they, on Sundays, they all around the field drinking wine and beer, all type of ages. And if you do a mistake, or they don't like your calls, you probably are a little bit in danger there. One of the games, actually in New Bedford, I noticed that that there was something's going to happen at the end of the game against me, the crowd, because it was a tense game and 1-1 or 2-2, and yellow cards, red card, everything was going on that game. So I know something was going to happen. And I felt a little bit in danger. So I told my assistant referee to talk to the police officer, similar story there, and to request for assistance. And I did see but more police came in, like 10 cruisers came in, because there's a big crowd in there, in New Bedford. It was like 3 minutes to the end of the game, and I went to the lines and I told the referee, I says, talk to the police officers and tell them that I'm going to give you my hand when it's going to be done. And you tell the police officers to run and protect me in the field, to run in there. So he did that, and sure enough, I called the end of the game, and I see the crowds coming in from all over. They're running towards me. And of course, the police is running ahead and circle me, and I got a circle, and they all from behind trying to, protest, and they walked me to my car, and in a circle, I got into my car. They kicked in my car, but the police escorted me out. They took me to the highway, and they didn't release me. 2 cruisers in front, 2 cruisers in the back, until maybe 5-7 miles on the road. They left, and I went. So this is the kinds of when you're talking about what do you. And my son was, when this happened, they says, I don't know why you do this here? How this is why you do that stuff like that. And that's what it takes. When you have them in here, you do it and you're committed to it. There is another story, that involves my other son, who is here, Brian Cortes out there. I'm going to a game, also Massachusetts League, and it probably was the final, and I forgot what field was it. And he's about maybe 9 years old, and on that Sunday I said, come with me, let's go. And I brought him with me. And it's a little hill on the side of the field, and I set him out there, watch me from there. I'm just gonna do the game. I got on with the game, and again, not an easy game, but it happens to be that I had to issue a red card to one of the players. And when the player was, I called the player and I'm ready to issue, I put my hand in my pocket. As soon as I did this, the player just put my hands around my hands like that. So then let me take my car out, and he says, please don't give me that red card. I said, you should thought about it before you did what you did. He said, please don't. And this was quickly. So I didn't want to discuss anymore. I said, that's it. You just have to issue the red card. And at that point, I'm gonna walk back because I don't want to have a long discussions with it. But he stepped on my foot. So when I step on my foot, I'm going there as I'm leaning back, and he just punched me right here on my face, and he knocked me down. And so the sad story is that my son, 9 years old, is watching that from up there. I had an assessor who knew that I had my son there. He quickly went up there and took care of him, while players from both teams, they got this guy and said, "What are you doing?" Even their own team players, they were trying to get the guy. They called the police and they move it out. There was I was going to be a court case for assault and battery. The federation has your lawyers, so I had representation from the federation. And what happened was that I got a call from the lawyer like 3 or 4 weeks ago. You don't have to appear in court. That guy was deported. He was from Argentina and he's no longer in the country. So that was, those are some of the top stories. On the other hand, a lot of enjoyment. I enjoyed refereeing, doing the games with fellow referees here, all kinds of level games, tournaments. I became a national referee. As a matter of fact, I became a national referee, perhaps on the same day that John Mota, my friend in there, became national referees. I was assigned to a tournament in I believe it was in Pennsylvania, or in Pennsylvania, Virginia, one of the 2 states. And going through the tournament, coming to the finals, I was assessed, he was assessed, he got his games, I got my games. But also we had Dilvo DiPlacido in that tournament as an assessor. And at nighttime, Dilvo comes, we talked before dinner, he said, "George, I heard your name is coming up for the final. Don't get nervous, do your own. No changes, referee the same way you referee. Don't get nervous, just be ready, There are 3 names, there are 3 names they name it, and you are one of them that they talking about. So watch." So anyway, next day, the assignment comes in, John Mota is in the center, and I'm on the line. We were assessed, and at that point we were recommended to become national referees. Thank you, John. That's another story. Again, it has been an honor for me to receive this award. I'm going to dedicate it not only to all of you who support my career, but on the other side, I'm gonna I have 3 great sons. They are great soccer players, and great sons, highly professional and very respectful. One of them, my second guy, Cortes, he actually played the select team from Massachusetts on the 15, 17, and 18, and 17. He decided, after college, he decided to enjoy the military. He joined the military, and he went to 4 wars, Iraq, Afghanistan, and the Gulf. Within those wars, he suffered a lot of injuries, He came back and actually was declared a disabled veteran, but his body could not take it anymore. He had reached the level of Lieutenant General in the Army. And April 1st of 3 years ago, he passed away. And so I dedicate also to him because he was part of my family when I was moving on. And again, thank you for this honor, which I will carry it, this pride forever. Thank you very much.
George, I gave you 3 minutes, you took 1 hour.
Give him a red pass.